Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Gebo the Shaman, and today we are talking about what happens when we have the sun placed in the 10th house in your birth chart. Alright, so before we get into all that good stuff, I'd just like to let you guys know that I am a Vedic astrologer. I do Vedic astrology readings, not Western, so if you're interested in any of my products or services that I have listed over here, then you can go to gebotheshaman.com. A lot of my stuff is on sale right now, and that sale is ending soon, so you should check it out. Alright, so what is the sun in the 7th house, or 10th house? What does the sun in the 10th house mean? In order to understand what this means, we need to understand what the sun means, and then what the 10th house means, and then put them together and create our own analysis from that. So what is the sun? The sun is our ego, the sun is our soul, and the sun is how we want to express ourselves in this life. On earth in this life. So, a lot of people have different ways of expressing themselves, and from being very communicative to being artistic. Well, being very communicative, which would be the 3rd house, being artistic, which would be like the 5th house, being, acts of service, which would be the 6th house. Different ways of expressing themselves and communicating and letting their light shine. So for you, this is an interesting placement, because this is in the 10th house. We'll talk about what that means in a second. Well, that just means your career. So your public reputation, your fame, things like that. So the sun is our soul, it's our ego, it's how we want to express ourselves. It's things like government, royalty, things like that. And so it's also, it's how we relate to the government would be seen through our sun sign. And so then we have the 10th house. Now the 10th house is it's all about our career, our relationships with our at our career, like our bosses and things like that. So yeah, it's about our career, it's about our public reputation, it's about our social status, our public standing, our status, our reputation, career, things like that. And so, fame can be seen through this position, and stuff like that. So let's see. So sun, what happens when we have sun in the 10th house is, well, of course, this is going to depend on everybody's chart. Everybody could be different, so I would highly encourage you to look at the sign that's placed here. So your sun sign, the sign that's placed in your 10th house, and also look at the planets that are, like, if there's any planets in this house which would be conjuncting the sun, or any planets that are in the 4th house, which would be opposing the sun, or any planets that are aspecting the sun. So, everybody's chart is different, so we have to take that into consideration. But this is just like a general analysis of this position. So, Sun in the 10th house, the sun being, the planet of royalty, government, authority, things like that. And the 10th house being your career. Put those together and what do you get? You get someone who works in government. You get, and I'm not saying that, like, you'll be a politician, although that's certainly what can happen with this position, especially if the sun is in a strong dignity, a strong position, relative to the sign that it's in and all the other planets that are aspecting. But yeah, so the sun can, so this can give a career in politics. This can give just a career in working with government, and that could be at any capacity. Maybe you work for Social Security or something like that. That's still government work. So, yeah, so it doesn't necessarily have to be politics or like be a politician, but something will be revolving around you. You like working for the government. So in some capacity, even if you're just a private contractor or something like that, and you're not directly employed by the government, but you get, it's like you get money from them. That's technically your employer. So yeah, this is an interesting position here. So let's say if it was in Aries, sun in Aries in the 10th house. Well, that means that you would go into military work. If it was in, let's say, Taurus, you would be involved in finances for the government, so working in the IRS or something like that. Gemini could be communications, being some kind of an IT specialist or something like that. So you get the deal here. It really, like, it can evolve and depend on, what specifically, like, what sign is placed here and the planets that are aspecting this. So if you have 5th house or the 5th sign, which would be the sign of Leo, in the 10th house with sun here, that would mean that you would be more likely to be a politician, to be out there in the crowds, or in front of the crowds, and the one that's getting the attention and stuff like that. So yeah, anyway, let me see how I am for this one. And we are good. So yeah, I hope you got a sense of sun in the 10th house. So yeah, that wraps it up for this one, guys. So if you're interested in any of my services, then you can go to gebotheshaman.com. all right, and check that out. I have all kinds of things on sale, all kinds of things available, so you can check that out. Alright, so we have the Vedic Astrology Certification course. That's one of the things that I do offer. And that is basically a course that takes you from A to Z through my entire process of how I do a Vedic astrology reading. So that's, basically turns you from a novice into a Vedic astrologer. And so if you pass the test for that course, then I will give you your own website where you can have a PayPal button and actually start getting clients. So it's a great opportunity there. Alright, and then we have the Vedic astrology readings. So I have my standard reading that I do for everybody. And then I have readings where I specialize and go into your career and your relationships and all that stuff. And then we have the birth time rectification. So basically I find out what time you were exactly born by just asking you a few basic simple questions about dates and times and things like that, and basically find your exact time of birth. It's pretty easy, the system that I have, but yeah, it does take some time, so that's why I do charge so much for it. And then we have the career coaching and the life coaching. So if you are one of those people who is just straggling and struggling out there, without, maybe you don't know your life purpose or what you're doing here, why you're here, and things like that, it really helps to get a career coaching session with me, because by the end of it, you will know your passions and purpose and path and all that stuff. So yeah. Alright, so then we have the career coaching and life coaching, and then we have the distance energy healing. That's great for just healing yourself. Basically, it's a healing session that you purchase from me, and I will send you the distance energy, or the energy healing. So anyway, I basically combine Reiki with shamanic practices with Qigong, so it's very healing, very empowering, and yeah, you'll like it. Then we have the Qigong courses, so Cosmic Qigong and Self-Transformation Challenge. Both of those courses are really positive, really energizing and healing for the body. So that's why I use those in my distance energy healing. And yeah, it's a great thing. It's a great course, great courses. So yeah, that does it for me, guys. So if you're interested in anything that I have to offer, then you can go ahead and go to GeboTheShaman.com. If you didn't already, please go ahead and like and subscribe and all that stuff. Alright, so that does it for me, and we will talk to you next time. Peace.